Hello, welcome to the iRacing East Series live here for race number 15 from the Kansas Speedway, the very last race in the regular season. So this is the final opportunity for these guys to try to work their way into the 5-race chase for the championship, which of course starts next week at Talladega in the trucks. But a lot of guys are locked in with wins. A couple of guys are decently locked in, or at least way ahead of the bubble on points, so they're mostly locked in as well. But there are some guys here in much of a situation who missed most of the season or just have had a bad season so far. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see, being one of the off-set races. Every 5th race, of course, it's a different track. Race number 5 was the Charlotte Road Course. Race number 10 was Bristol. And then here tonight at the Kansas Speedway. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see who can do well in a mile and a half, and not just the big Super Speedways and plate racing, which is going to be very interesting, of course, and to see how that plays out over the course of the night. But currently qualifying underway here, and actually almost about to wrap up. It is open qualifying, so everybody's going to track here together, and that's going to basically put a lot of the times relying on draft and who you're with out on the racetrack. But currently Chris Etcheper has the fastest time out of everybody. Going on board now with Zach Morgan. He's going to start his lap here, maybe complete it. But he's not going to have time to finish this lap, I do not believe. And as you can see right here, already running the top side. You're going to see almost everybody here tonight running that top lane. Much of this race. Look at that beautiful sunset right there off in turn 3. And actually, 40 seconds left. He does have enough time. But he's going to hit the wall in turn 3, and that's going to give him a 0x and not let him count his time. He gave back the finish line, but it's not full count because he already started after the checkered flag. So I believe that will wrap things up as everybody has turned their lap, and that will finish things off. Looks like Chris Etcheper will be your pole sitter, but as we're still waiting for qualifying to finish up here, and got a couple shout outs here for the sponsors of the iRacing East Series. For the iRacing East Series sponsors are Express Auto Salon along with DCH Crane. And also some newer sponsors to the series, but always appreciated nevertheless. Bottled Up, along with Taz Racing Customs, all official partners of the iRacing East Series. So always welcome their continued support there, as these guys are now starting to grid up for tonight's action. And we're going to take you to the LCTV starting grid here in just a few moments. I also want to try to give you guys the rundown of the points. My apologies for the second week in a row. I accidentally did not do this beforehand, so my apologies for that. I will get that for you here. But we're going to go through the LCTV starting grid here for now. Kick things off. So Chris Etcheper gets the pole with a 29.486. So he's going to start the number 38 machine on that pole position. Ryan Worley in the 26 machine to his outside. Both those guys actually are locked into the chase on wins, so they do not have to worry too much about tonight, but they're going to race it out nevertheless. Row number 2 here, Tyler Gary in the 08 machine, with row number in the 37. I believe both those guys need a win to lock themselves in. Jeremy Rucker in the 89 machine, he's going to roll off in 5th. Jeffrey Price is outside, also the drivers locked into the chase. Row number 4 here tonight, Greg McConey in the 12 machine, Taz Kessler in the 01. Row number 5, Jeff McConey in the 76, the Trenton Seed right there in the 25 machine. Zach Borman in the 10. We saw him turn a qualifying lap there, and unfortunately went sour, but he's going to roll off in 11th position. And Chris Engels in the number 5 machine to roll off in 12th. Bobby Hash in the number 30, he's going to roll off in 13th. And then on his outside, Jason Papp in the 1 machine. Number 8 here tonight, Jesse Fox, and then cruising in a junior. Eric Reinhardt, Bill Stanley are going to start 17th and 18th. And then right at your field of qualifiers, Roy Geeson in the 45 machine. But nevertheless, we're about to take the green flag here to start off race number 16 here. It should be 15. My apologies for that. As we're getting set as the pace car is in. Etcheper lead the field to the green flag. Green flag flies.
Ready,
We're underway here from Kansas. Final race of the regular season. Chris Barrett on the jump. And already gets clear now of Ryan Willie. Ryan Willie, it's right there to her bumper. Looks like he had a bit of shift right there. It's down the 08 machine. And Taylor Gary, down there on the low side. Actually going to try to take the race lead, but the odds are laying going to get such momentum off of turn number 2. Dead back straight away now as we're working into turn 3. The runner going to secure 3rd place, but side by side for race lead still. The 38 though gets a huge run up in that top lane. He's going to take over that top spot as the 08 going to block the 37 machine there just a bit, but the runner going to try to fight back on his outside, almost some contact right there. And remember, these guys only do have one faster pair, so as a changeover from recent as 08 and some connection issues right there. The 37 is actually going to cross him over, so Will Runner going to go down low. There was teammate right behind him, Ryan Worley. This goes into turn 3 here. The 08 machine has some more connection issues. It's not really good for this battle as a side-by-side. 37 washes up the racetrack, but the 08 going to get the run on the top side, take the position right on back. Looks like you got, that is the Jerry Rucker right there in the 89 machine. Try and get his way around Ryan Worley, but he had to check up a little bit and lost some ground because of it. All these guys so much under a blanket here for these top couple spots, and I got Ryan Worley checking around his teammate right there. We'll remember in a very similar paint scheme, pretty much just an alternate one. But pretty sharp bloody paint scheme nonetheless. Everybody already up to the top side of the racetrack. Does not take very long at all at Kansas Speedway. Only time you really run the bottom is really just the 1 and 2 on the very first lap of the start or restart. So, and 151 laps, around here at the Kansas Speedway. 1.5 mile track. Actually, 1.53 miles to be precise. Our temperature currently at 65 degrees, located in Kansas City, Kansas, of course. As Ryan Worley, we're going to crash off the race lead. Chris Edgepair going around right here, along with the 12 machine and Greg McConey. And those are, I believe the 12 machine was going a lap down, actually, because he was not in the fight there. And in fact, he's actually 2 laps down. So Chris Edgepair, your race leader, going to get taken out by a lap car, and he does not look very happy at all. Unless he's just trying to get his position back, which might be the case, but that is pretty odd for sure. We have to look back and see what exactly happened here. As your race leader here are going to get taken out, and now we'll bring a first caution flag of the night here on lap number 5. So we're going to take a look and see what exactly could have caused that. And nothing too significant, I would say. And actually, he did not get taken out by a lap car. That was just a single self-inflicted crash as he got into the outside wall just a little bit. And that's all it took. And then, unfortunately for Greg McConey, he was right there, the wrong place, wrong time. Just went 2 laps down and just power drove to the back of the 38 machine as he really had nowhere to go, run on that top side. Somehow, everybody else was able to scatter and avoid it. So, great job, everybody, get out of harm's way there and basically avoid the 2 cars right there. But definitely a very unique and odd crash to start things off here. Definitely did not really expect that one in the slightest, as they're going to run on board now with the 12 machine of Greg McConey. You see the 38 just got on the outside wall. The 08 was able to go down and avoid him, but then he came down off the wall right in front of him, and the 12 really did not have much place to go right there. And just actually got into the back and pretty significant damage to the 12 machine, but as far as the 38 goes, I don't honestly think he needs to use a fast repair. I think that's honestly fixable. It's all rear end damage and some right side damage, but pretty crazy already here on lap 5. Leader first pancakes the outside wall, but looks like he actually did in fact decide to use a fast repair, so that's going to be interesting to see if he can make it through the rest of the night without getting involved in another accident. But that now gives the race lead over to Axel. Looks like something that's going to stay out here. Race lead now transitions into the hands of Will Veronarmer, who just opted to stay out on those old tires right there. So Veronarmer going to stay out, take the track position over the fresh tires. Cass Kessler Also going to stay out. Cruising Jr. is just now making his way down on a pit road, but quite a few guys actually did stay out. Billy Stanley going to stay out. Eric Reinhardt, Roy Geeson, Donnie Lee, Brian Buzard, Scott Leitner, Tyler Gary. Tyler Gary was the first car to head down pit road, I believe. As he was racing after that happened. So I think if we take a look at the pit stops here, it should show us, yes. So Tyler Gary, yes. Tyler Gary was the first car to pit. So he's the first one on first tries. Only 5 laps at Kansas. Nothing too crucial, nothing that will be, super obvious and super detrimental to the rest of the field who stay out. But I would definitely say it's definitely going to have a huge advantage to the 08 machine. Currently being in 8th or 9th place, somewhere around there, as the 8 machine pitted there. 8th place, I believe, is where he's going to be in. So 8th place on 4 fresh tires, definitely not a bad position to be in at Kansas, that's for sure. Of course, that position is very crucial as everybody's pretty much just running the top side of the racetrack, but you might just see that really pay off from here. And there's no stages, of course, in this series, so we could go green the rest of the way. That's always a potentiality. You never know. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how that works out throughout the rest of the night, but very odd crash for sure to start things off here. But before we continue on here, I am going to try to get those points up for you here, as we actually take the winning green, so I can't do it this caution, unfortunately, but straight away here for the final time before we take the green flag. We'll run them or opting to stay out along with 7 other guys. We'll lead the field to the restart here, or to the green flag, excuse me. If you are able to, if you are interested, go to iRacingESeries.com. Right now you can do that. While you're watching this, go to open a new tab, and you can check out the point standings there for yourself. If you're a little bit impatient, don't want to wait for me to get around to that. But the green flag is back out here, and we're backing away here from Kansas. As on the jump action on the outside lane, Taz Kessler going to get a great restart and actually pulls ahead of Lorimer. He can take over the race lead now. As they're actually side by side off turn number 2 for 01 has the run as he's up in that top lane, has more banking to get the momentum done on straightaway here. As they go into turn number 3 now, the 01, of course, has the preferred lanes. He's going to probably come out on top of this battle once they come off turn number 4, and currently has the advantage. And 37 going to have to give that spot up as the 01 machine Taz Kessler gets clear and lead that lap, and going to follow suit. But the 08 machine guarantee going to try to find a way through the field here as 710 Eric Reinhardt comes across his nose, but he does a great crossover right there and gets it back going. Pretty cool moves right there for sure, as the 08 trying to work his way through the field here, up to 4th place it looks like, as he goes around the 45 machine of Roy Geeson. Just pack in the back though, 3 wide back in the field, almost 4, we're going to put him 4 wide at Kansas. Oh my goodness, and the 5 machine wisely backs out of that, as that was 4 wide at Kansas Speedway. Definitely not a place you want to go 4 wide. I think these guys are thinking that they're still at Talladega, but wow, that was pretty cool.
Yellow.
Oh, we have a caution flag though. That is out for a couple of cars, I believe, maybe just one. A 66 has put it on a pit road, and I believe that was where the crash came from. We're going to take a look here and see what exactly caused the second caution flag of the race. So definitely did not get a super long run here, but it looks like it was in fact a single car really incident as far as he spun around, but was not self-inflicted here. So we're going to take a look, and it was basically just chaos in the back of the field here. We just had the 4-wide move earlier, but then these guys, the 25 and the 33 right there of Taylor Khan, 25, somebody there with Jason Papp. They go 3 wide, and you see the 33 is coming off the wall, coming down the racetrack. The one, Jason Papp, goes down the racetrack to avoid, and unfortunately gets into the side of the 66 of Scott Leitner. And as that contact occurs, he gets his left side tires onto the apron, which gets him super loose and out of control. He kills the cone, goes for a long slide. Locks it down, doesn't hit anything, but he ends up towing it to pit road and actually put it into behind the wall. So that's pretty unfortunate. The night ended that early, but yeah, I mean, that was pretty crazy back of the field, and that was just probably about in time for that to happen. But I'm not quite sure why he put it behind the wall that early. Instead, he only got right side damage right there, as you can tell. But did a great job to lock it down and keep it off the inside wall, but maybe, I don't know. That's pretty interesting. But that will put us under the second caution flag of the night, as that will number opting to stay out there and be in a pretty good strategy call. As now he gets into the, he's gonna hold the race lead here, and under the caution flag is gonna help him save a little bit of fuel and all that jazz like that. As 8 Machine looks like he is actually maybe pitted again. Did he pit again? Oh yeah, he did pit again. Wow. So he's now pitted twice, and all these guys haven't pitted at all. Not all these guys, but a couple of these guys. So Tyler Gary going back down pit road for more fresh tires after that run there. It looks like, actually, excuse me, the 38 Machine Chris Leitner did not use his fast spare, so I would honestly say that's a good call right there. He's got a lot of back end damage and spoiler damage that's going to affect his downforce a little bit. But we're still early on in this race. We're starting to get more cautions. It's basically trying to determine at Kansas and what surprise it is. But you're going to go under a quick commercial break here. We'll be right back and take a look at the point standings and, of course, come back before the restart. So don't worry, we're right back.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Welcome back to the Kansas Speedway here for the iRacing East Series race number 15. As about to go back under the green flag here, and I'm going to see if I can quickly pull the iRacing East Series points. There you go. Updated points. The drivers in green are locked in with a win, and everybody else is currently in on points, but not quite locked in. Bobby Hash, Eric Reinhardt, those guys up on the top of that list are locked in, but everybody else down there in the bottom could get knocked down if they have a kind of bad night and some guys get a win here. But we'll remember staying out in older tires, almost the entire rest of the field. He's going to go and lead the field back to the restart here as green flag waves here on lap number 17 to 6. He got a great jump, but then he missed a couple of shifts right there. It's going to cost him about 4 or 5 positions. Is now the 26th of Ryan Roy. Actually got held up by him right there on the outside lane. And that is the 60 machine of Billy Stanley. One of the new drivers here. As a door-to-door behind him, though, the 08 on those 4 fresh tires actually is pitted into the last 2 cautions. Underneath the 26 machine of Ryan Worley trying to take the position away as they're 3 wide ahead of them. The 10 machine right there.
Caution,
I'm going to caution flag once again.
The fuck is the goddamn caution for?
My apologies for that. I'm not quite sure why that played. That is out for the 1 machine of Jason Papp. You can see right here, it looks like the 99 machine Diane Lee got into the outside wall. Going into turn number 3, just a classic mistake at Kansas. Not hard to do. We've seen it many times before. And now the 5 gets into him pretty significantly. The 501 as well. Brandon Wilson also gets a pretty significant hit right there. And that gets him turned sideways here. So Brandon Wilson gets turned sideways. He's trying to save it. Spins it at the top of the racetrack. And then unfortunately, he just loses it a little bit, goes down the track, and pretty much T-bones the 99 machine, and then as he's still sideways, he just gets hit. Jason Papp just clips his left front, hits him. He goes into the outside wall head-on. Jason Papp goes for a spin, but Lee backs at the inside wall. So a multi-car crash here that I believe is one of the first, besides the very first crash we had with the 2 cars. Basically gonna come out here. He's gonna go on board now with the 501 machine of Brandon Wilson, as he went for a pretty wild ride here. Started wrecking in turn 3, and finish it in turn 4 is here. Just got tied with Donnie Lee, and he starts trying to spin it and trying to save it, and it's just really hard to do at a slick track like Kansas. And unfortunately, it just gets hit a couple times, not able to quite avoid them, and get about a 4 or 5 car wreck there. As I take a look here from the eye in the sky. See, just actually got on the outside wall a little bit, that's all it took, and then comes down into the 501 and into the 5 machine, then he starts spinning it. Unfortunately, just comes down and tags it. Goes into the 99 in the 1 machine, the 99 goes for a spin. He locked it down, but then he let off the brakes, and that caused him to back to the inside wall very hard, actually, at the back end of the car. But I think you might just use a fast spare to get back going. As run on board now with the 1 machine of Jason Papp. And they just got tagged. That's a lot of right front damage for the number 1 machine right there. And unfortunately, it's going to be a lot of damage to fix unless he opts to take a fast spare, which it looks like he actually did not. He does take the optional damage route, but unfortunately, it's going to be quite a bit of damage on the 1 machine. But still always love to go racing here. And gives us the opportunity to look at some of the point stuff here and whatnot. So as you see right here, Cruz Ennis Jr. with 4 wins. He's already locked in the chase, of course. Only multi-winner, actually, so far in the iRacing series. Jason Papp is locked in with a win. Brandon Wilson, Tater Khan, Chris Edgeberry, Ryan Worley, Greg McConey, Jeffrey Price, and Taz Kessler are all locked in on wins. Bobby Hash, Eric Reinhardt, Daniel Crossett, and Russ Nash are all locked in on points. Diego Vasquez currently in on points in 11th. The Brian Bruiser currently in on points. The last transfer spot in 12th. However, if you look at the point standings themselves, unfortunately I don't have a thing for that, but we can read it off to you. So looking at looking at Brian Buzard as the last transfer spot. To hit the winning green here. Brian Buzard currently is in 12th in points and is currently only 12 points up on Scott Leitner. So Scott Leitner is currently the first guy out. That is 66 machine, except he actually disconnected from this race early on here to put it behind the wall. So he's actually out of that opportunity. Jeff Spooner, I don't know if he's actually in this race here tonight. Jeff Spooner, Timothy Pack, Chris Pair. I don't see Jeff Spooner isn't here tonight, unfortunately, so he's not going to have a chance at the chase either. Nathan Hall, I don't know if he's actually here either. Jeffrey McConey is. Jeffrey McConey is here. But I think he's already locked. Yeah, Jeffrey McConey's already locked in on the win. So, pretty confusing. It's a lot of chaos, but that's just unfortunately me not putting everything up there for you guys. But let's see how it goes, and I'm sure these guys mostly know what the situation is. So a lot of these guys are in a much better situation. Win, of course, locks you in. So that's been pretty crucial. A lot of these guys. The green flag comes out with a 45 machine. Actually going to jump the start there. That was a big time. Ward Gleason and Eric Reinhardt on the outside lane there definitely jumped the stars. You see the 08 machine going down on the apron there, 3 wide, but he's having a connection. You see sideways, and he's on the apron. He's actually going to save it, but loses all the track position as he falls all the way back to the back of the field. Now they're 3 wide with the 14.25 and the 01 here. Taz Kessler, Jeffrey Price, and that is also the 25 of Trenton Sneed. So a couple of teams right there. We're going to contact the 45 machine. Slides it off, turn number 4. He's going to come to a complete stop. He was the race leader earlier as it got contact. We may have actually been pitting because he got black flag for jumping the start. As the 76 also coming through wide to the middle there. Jeffrey McConey, he already got a win, so no reason not to just go for it and have fun and try to go for the win. As there's a 45 machine serving his black flag, but he also missed the pit entrance. So it's going to be another black flag in addition. He's already going to go a lap down here, maybe more. As Will Runhammer, though, got to take back over the race lead because of that. And now battle is on for second between Bobby Hash and Ryan Worley. Ryan Worley going to stick the top of the racetrack. Looks like he's going to keep that spot off from the 30 machine as Bookie Mountain Racing right here, 1-2. And then Jeffrey Price coming through the field here, currently in 5th place. So 3 of the drivers in the top 5. And he is on fresh tires, so I believe he's going to catch these guys ahead of them as see it's starting to take Eric Reinhardt to not get black flag for jumping the start, and so he's going to hold the position, which of course is good for him. Couple of more teammates here, McConey Motorsport, Jeffrey McConey, and 10 machine right there of Zach Borman. Position as well. That is currently for the 7th position, it looks like. All right there behind Eric Reinhardt as well. And looks like actually Jeff McCoy is going to go to the outside of him. And so 3 wide behind him now. Chaz Kessler actually got 3 wide from the middle right there on his teammate. So there's the 5 machine at the top of the racetrack. That is Chris Evans. And now 3 wide behind him, however. So we kind of sorting that position, going pretty aggressive 3 wide at Kansas and 4 wide we saw earlier. Pretty crazy stuff here as up front there Ryan Willie is kind of caught his teammate here. I believe Ryan Willie does have fresher tires. Indeed he does. He actually has pitted in this race. 37 machine has not. So Ryan Willie a little bit of fresher tires here. Going to try to chase down his teammate here. As we'll run on as we complete lap 28 to move on to lap 29. So a long ways of racing left, however. 37 room right on top of the racetrack, but he's losing a lot of grip, being out there in old tires, a lot of speed and a lot of time because of that. Now his teammate Willie go to the inside of the 37 machine for the race lead, and try to throw it at the corner and get clear the 37 or get come off the corner, and it looks like he's going to come up just almost in front of the 37 on way up the racetrack. And as the 26 cuts the apron, that's going to give the advantage to the 26 going into turn 1, but he's still not quite clear yet, but I think he will be right here as he's going to hug the white line, actually. And coming off the corner, 37 is going to get a huge run, but nothing he can do with it as he's on older tires, so... Ryan really going to go to the top of the charts. They're starting to try the bottom, but he's going to tighten wash at the racetrack. And now looks like Jason Rucker actually also getting up. Excuse me, Jeremy Rucker. My apologies there. He's also going to try to get up here and get up for second and break the Smoky Mountain 1, 2, 3. As the big pack back here, Bobby Hash, Marconi, and Taz Kessler are all racer position. We get the 08 machine coming back through the field after. Oh, we got contact. 30 Bobby Hash, Jeff McConey checked up there big time. I think they had a little bit of contact right there, but they're going to be able to save it. Now as the 08 goes through wide on the inside, makes it stick. Actually gets his spot on Chris Ingles and Jeff McConey. Going to pass both of them as there's almost contact now behind him for that spot, but take that position away. He's actually moved back up into 7th place after having to go down the apron to avoid basically wrecking earlier. And that restart, the 30 machine gonna hit the outside wall, goes down right in front of him. The 08 gets in the back bumper room, but nothing too severe. Doesn't get any nosy damage really to speak of. And that's gonna cost him a spot to Jeffrey McConey, but that's about as far as that extends. As now the 3 wide once again behind. Contact between the 10 and the 30 though. Bobby Hash, 10 of Zachary Borman to go. Contact with him in the 38. Looks like maybe that should be connected. A pretty exciting, intense racing here. Back to back, some rubbing. As everybody's trying to throw it top of the racetrack. The 30 keeps pancaking the outside wall here. Bobby Hash in the outside wall again. And now coming off turn number 2, he's going to spin down the racetrack. Oh, he gets clobbered by the 33 of Taylor Collin. The 33. Taylor Collin got a flip down the back straight away. That was a vicious crash, and I knew as soon as I saw the 30 get slowed down right there and come off the wall, I knew that was going to be pretty bad, pretty fast. And nowhere to go for the 33 machine. Taylor Collins is in one place, run time for the driver of the Bojangles entry there. And just absolutely blindsided. Bam! The 30 Bobby Hash saw him coming. He was trying to get off the wall and knew how slow he was going. He was trying to get down to the bottom of the racetrack and get out of harm's way, but unfortunately he timed it just a little bit wrong, and the 33 closed on him by sooner than he expected, and definitely did not go probably as planned. And you can see he's up against the outside wall, then he stayed up there to try to avoid getting hit by anybody, and he tries ducking low to get out of harm's way, but unfortunately he was just not quite there as the 33 was on the bottom of the racetrack, and just absolutely clobbers him, flips a little bit down the back straight away before landing back in all fours, but definitely fast food worthy for both of those guys. As this does give you an opportunity though for some of those guys who stayed out, such as Rover to come down and get fresh tires here under this caution flag, so that's exactly what they're going to do. It looks like Ryan really going to run the... Nope, I mean, actually not. Taz Kessler won the race off of pit road, it looks like. There were some guys maybe have opted to stay out. Chris Sheener stayed out. I believe, however, he might just pit like he did earlier. Excuse me. Greg McConey is going to potentially get a waiver out here, getting one of his laps back. Chris Engels actually decided to stay out here in number 5 machine, but he also might pit. Have to wait and see here if he just wanted to leave the lap or not. No, actually, he's going to stay out. So Chris Sheener is going to head down pit road, but Taz Kessler, the rest of those guys, they all pitted, I believe, for 4 fresh tires. No, Taz Kessler actually took 2 tires. So Taz Kessler with 2 tires. He's going to be the first car with any tires, any fresh tires on that car. And then Ryan Williams, the first car on 4 fresh tires, and the whole field behind follows suit with that. But if the 5 machines staying out, the 01 taking 2 tires, and everybody else on back taking 4. It'll be pretty interesting to see how that works out. Obviously, might as well experiment this early on in the race as far as the old machine goes. The 5 pretty aggressive move. I mean, I don't know. We've seen tires be really crucial so far. We saw Ryan really obviously just pretty much fly around the 37 machine, just because he was on a little bit fresher tire, about 10 lap fresher tires, as far as green light laps go. So pretty interesting call, but two-tire strategy is very big question, because then, of course, you know, give it a little bit of track position to come up here. He could be leading this race right now and be controlled the restart, but he's not because he pitted. But two tires, of course, can very easily help the grip and just help the turning overall, compared to having no tires, new fresh tires at all. So, interesting strategy calls, but may as well experiment here if you haven't driven this track lately or driven this track at all. You know, he can take this and figure out later on in the race if it comes down to a, you know, 10-lap shootout at the end and long group of run beforehand they pit. You know, you can always experiment, is two tires worth it? How fast is it? How fast is it compared to no tires? How fast is it compared to the four tires? So this is a really great call for Taz Kessler to make this move and basically test that out, as the 5 machine, though, has taken the outside lane for the lane choice of the restart. Which basically gives them preferred lane here. But I do not believe he's going to be able to stay up there very long on those old tires. But we're going to wait and see. So the pace here, 3 turns, number 3 and 4 before the pace car will duck down onto the safety off pit lane. All right, we're right here to see with the number 5 UPS Ford. That's what the logo says, but well, no, it's not actually a Ford.
Green flag.
Green flag in the wave here. We're backing away here for Kansas. Has a great jump by the inside lane of Tess Kessler, actually. They're 3 wide behind for third. Oh, wait, having some connection issues, but Kyle Busch, the restart up there on the outside lane. He's actually going to go to the top side of the racetrack and try to get a run over the top side around the 5. As for the race lead, though, Ryan Worley going to try to go underneath the 1 machine Taz Kessler, who decided to take those 2 tires.
Caution's out.
And a caution flag going to come out, though, and the question is who was out front. But the 45 machine of Roy Giesing going to spin around on the backstretch.
Coming into pit road.
And,
yes, I do, sir.
It's very interesting to see what happened there, as these 2 upset. I remember after jumping that restart earlier and having to serve a couple of black flags, also missing pit road, waiting to wreck it off turn number 2. We're going to take a look and see what exactly caused the 4th caution flag, excuse me, the 5th caution flag of the night. And it seems like turn 2 has always been a treacherous spot for as far as coming off the corner goes. Excuse me, on the restart. And actually, wow, what a vicious crash. First off, looks like there's actually some contact ahead of these guys. We're going to take a look at that first. So, the 7 machine here of Brian Buzard. Here, it looks like he gets a tap by the 18. Actually, no, he hits the apron. Just someone flicking to hit the apron, got extremely sideways. I think you can see that looks like it caused a bit of a checkup, but I don't think it's actually of relation at all. As you see the 45, no, he just drove up across the racetrack, across the nose of the troll machine. I've heard McConey, nothing he could do, and actually barrel rolled down the back straightaway. It's the 2nd flip now we've seen off turn number 2. I also believe every single crash has been basically, he says the 1 in turn number 2. As he's flipping and unfortunately kind of just goes off the racetrack and comes back spinning. But pretty interesting crash. I don't know what happened there, if he thought he was clear or car got loose or what. Let's see if we can get a better angle of this here on board the control machine. And he just kind of goes across the racetrack, across the nose of the control machine, and unfortunately it's going to put a bit of significant damage for the trophy cover Coney. However, not terrible, because that's at least gives him a caution after he stayed out to take the wave around there. So he's on the lead now. Oh, you're not actually. My apologies. He's still not down. But we are going to take this opportunity now to go under a commercial break here. But we're going to come right back for the rest of the action here from Kansas. So we'll be right back after short messages.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Alpha is $10,500 richer. Two-time NASCAR. This year 2013 NASCAR iRacing. It's going to be Humpy winning the race, and it's going to be Conti taking away his first NASCAR 2017 NASCAR Beginner-Free Series Championship to Ryan Luza. Federer is a four-time champion of the NASCAR Beginner-Free's iRacing Series.
Welcome back to the iRacing East Series, live here today from Kansas Speedway, brought to you by Express Auto Salon, along with DCH Crane. Also brought to you tonight by Bottled Up and Taz Racing Customs, all official partners of the iRacing East Series. About to go back under green flag here on lap 43. 44, 21 cars currently on the lap here, as Ryan Worley is ahead of them all, though currently. And move the field back to the green flag. Piscar is in, and green flag gonna wave here in just a few moments. Green flag, there it is. It is out. And on the restart, 26. And the 08 actually dead even. Get going through the gears of the 08, actually going to pull ahead just a tiny bit, but going to turn 1 and 2 here, side by side, door to door. Not really on the inside. The 08, they're going to have the advantage in turn number 3. But looks like he comes off the corner. He will have the preferred lane up the top side of the racetrack, and that will just give him the spot here. As 26, though, drives it in hard to try to slide up in front of the 08 machine. Actually, it will be successful as now his teammate Jeffrey Price going to try and get around a good 08 himself there. Tyler Gary trying to battle there for second. As the bottom of the racetrack goes to 14 machine. But he's not going to quite be able to do it. Washes up the racetrack, gets tight, and is going to fall back in the line. But now, 08 going to stop the 26 Ryan Worley for that race lead. Going to drive it in hard to the bottom of the racetrack, but has some connection issues. Pulls a slide job on the 26 machine. It's going to work for the 26 with the crossover now off turn number 4. But I don't know. I suppose now a slide right here in 1 and 2. I don't think will be enough to get to that position back. He's going to drive it in on the low side. Drives it in pretty deep. Go away. Going to stick his and hold his ground up on the top side. And actually comes off turn number 2 now with the race lead. As Jeffrey McConey also passes the 14 after he tried passing the 08 there. So Jeffrey McConey now going to get himself up into the podium spot. And another run on racetrack. He goes to try and get around Ryan Worley, but of course, not quite possible. Off the corner is out. Jeffrey Price, the outside of Jeffrey McConey, as he goes into turn number 3 here. Or should be turn number 1. They're going to be side by side as the 76 goes up across his nose, though. It's going to put the 14 machine of Jeffrey Price into the outside wall. And it's going to cause him a 2 position, looks like 3 maybe even. As Brennan Wilson and his team are going to pass on by. And they're 3 wide behind him. And it's going to get pretty dicey right here as they're trying to sort positions. The 14 is trying to get out of it right there. And I'm sure definitely very heated over the radio that was. Probably not very happy with that move at all as he pretty much got put on the outside wall. Now, with that damage, it looks like it's definitely hurt the handling of his race cars. He just got passed by the 25 trying to see the 89 there. Now the 10 of Zach Boardman is trying to get that position from him. So definitely a pretty crucial hit right there. Is Nigel Friconi going to continue on in 3rd, but trying to hold off Will Rummer. That's the 08 machine now. That is Tyler Gary holding on to the race lead here. Right now against the outside wall right there. The grip is and basically just faster on this racetrack, which you kind of get after a lap or 2 and the tires will fall off a little bit. It doesn't take very much the tires fall off here at Kansas, and you really cannot run the bottom really fast. This is the way certain tracks work. This track, Las Vegas, you can run up top side pretty well. Chicagoland. Well, a ton of tracks, the top side is the preferred route. I believe this is really the only one I would say that is basically the dominant around the top. Chicagoland, you definitely can run the top very well, but you can also run the bottom extremely well too, even on long runs. So it's all about what your preferred line is and how your car is set up, etc. As you come off turn number 4 here and complete lap number 50, and that'll mark, almost mark, once we complete this lap, that'll mark 100 laps to go. So a long way left in racing. This one here. Alright, really looks like he's starting to close the gap maybe just a little bit on this white machine, but definitely pretty even here. So probably keeping it at a solid half a second or so as now mark 100 laps to go here for Kansas. Still a long ways left. That's 150 miles. I believe so far it's going to speed of longest run we had so far tonight. We did have a pretty good one there before the 30 to 33 made contact, but I'm not quite sure. As taking a look here back in the pack, sure there's probably some exciting battles going on. There's some coming to hold on to 3rd as it looks like Brendan Wilson's now gone around the 76 machine just from the Coney for 4th. Then back here for 6th to the 5 machine trying to keep off the 60 machine. That is Billy Stanley. Yeah, he's got some fans right there in the chat, so. Good job currently in that 7th position as the 5 machine, excuse me, that is Chris Ingles going on the spot right there, trying to get himself into the top 5 here. Oh, he's going to hit the outside wall extremely hard though. That's going to cost him the spot to the 60 machine. The 01 Taz Kessler actually hits. Oh, and the 89 comes flying in there and turns him sideways somehow. They're only able to keep it straight and hit the wall, kind of help them out on that one as we go 3 to 4 wide now into turn number 3. And major chaos right there as the flag on the outside wall came off the wall. The 01 then hit the outside wall and hit the back of him, tried to avoid him. The 89 came in and piled into him. What complete chaos that turned into all of a sudden. But so now as the 60 machine moves into 6th place, the battle is on for 7th now between Trenton Sneed and Chris Ingles, along with Zach Boardman and the 89 machine of Jeremy Rucker. Eric Reinhardt right there. You got Brian Buzar, Jason Papp, Roy Geeson, however, he is a couple of laps down. A few laps down, actually. 3 laps down. Currently scored at 22nd place. And he wants to kind of just have all that mayhem right there. He's currently back here now in 14th with quite a bit of damage, especially in the back end of his race car. So it's not very good for him, of course. And Darnell Lee currently in 15th. JC Fox and right there in 16th. Greg McCartney, excuse me, in 21st. He's had a pretty rough night. You see, just looked at the car. He's going 21st, 1 lap down. Bobby Hash at 16th. Jeffrey Price in 17th. That's actually how far, I guess, he got knocked back after getting. Oh, we got Cruz Shooter though, spinning on the front stretch through the grass. He was in 18th, and he might still be in 18th, but he's still trying to hang on to his race car. He might slide down pit road here. Also, he does keep it in the grass, off the racetrack, keeps it going the right direction, keeps it off pit road. A fantastic job by Cruz Jr. We're going to take a look back at that and see what exactly started all that. We're going to go on board now with the 8 machine of Cruz Jr. Here, just going off turn number 4, just got tight, set up the racetrack on the outside wall, and nothing going to salvage, but wheeled that fin all the way down into the grass, was still wheeling it, it was just wanting to spin. He was keeping that fin pointing the right direction, was not giving up hope though, and he's going to actually miss pit road, keep it on harm's way of anybody else, not hit the wall after the fact, and keep the fin in the right direction. It's a great job by Cruz Jr. to hang onto that thing. Definitely a fantastic job of wheeling right there, but going to go a lap down, however, as there are some guys going to lap down. Taylor Khan going to lap down, Timothy Papp going to lap down, but Cruz Jr. right there. Already launched the chase though with 4 wins. He said he wanted to come in tonight, try to get a 5th win, and just get to that kind of perfect number 5. But unfortunately, night he's having, it's not going to be the case. But so long as with the racing to go, he'll be able to make these spots back up and get quite a bit of damage on the 8 machine. To kind of struggling all night, unfortunately. But you never know what could happen here. It is Kansas, and seen pretty well things happen so far in this race alone, so we're not even quite halfway yet, so it could be pretty interesting for sure. Though she continues to lead just a little bit over around really only 0.3 of a second, so been pretty steady around that as well. You know, mark 90 laps to go here from Kansas. Currently, last car on the map is that 8 machine Cruz Jr. Right there in 19th place. That's my super machine. On his ground right there. Actually, might be catching that. Oh wait, just a little bit. It's kind of hard to tell. He's having some connection issues, just kind of messing with scoring. Definitely his tire tracks right there, ready and waiting. Right there, ahead of these guys in the outside wall. This might play havoc on these guys. He's gonna pull it down low. Great job by Cruz Jr. to get out of harm's way right there. and not get tangled up into that mess. So he's going to clip the apron, they'll get more sideways and continue to struggle here. He's just really hoping for caution to come out here to get a free pass and to fix his car and just try to, you know, have a big refresh here. But Ryan really has caught your race leader, Tyler Gary, again having some more connection issues, blinking him out, unfortunately, but 26 machine has caught him nevertheless, and it's going to get pretty interesting here. To see what the 26 machine can do to try to make that pass on him. Of course, you know, that's gonna be pretty difficult. Well, here, car spinning now. We'll be in a caution flag out. That is Crucian and his unit on the front stretch. I said he wanted a caution. Definitely that's what he meant, or what he wanted, though. So he's gonna get down the racetrack and out of harm's way. Great job of him to do that. Unfortunately, he will bring the caution flag out, and because he was the cause of the caution, he won't get the free pass either. And looks exactly what he did earlier, except this time, unfortunately, he was unable to hang on to it. Just came off turn number 4, walked it up the racetrack, got to the outside of the wall, pancaked it. It got him sideways. He was trying to correct it, and unfortunately for him, he ends up hitting the apron, causing him to overcorrect it. Backs it to the outside wall pretty significantly. Does a couple of 720s there, and does it turn back down the racetrack and out of harm's way. Great job to try to throw it all pretty sketchy there for sure, but that will bring the 6th caution flag of the night here. As we had a long streak of run so far in this race, and yeah, just doesn't take much. Unfortunately, he's in the track a lap down still. Continues, but very least he tried to use a fast car. As your leaders do come down onto the pit lane. It looks like actually the 60 machine is actually going to stay out here, lead a lap. I believe he's probably going to get on pit road. If he doesn't get on pit road, he'd be absolutely crazy. But the 08 going to head down pit road along with the rest of your leaders. Looks like off pit road first. It's going to be the 26 machine. The 08 actually still does not goes out of his pit box. Maybe it was preparing some optional damage, but the 26 of Ryan Rowley going to come out with the race lead as far as the guys who pitted. However, again, the 60 machine opted to stay out actually along with the 69 Jesse Fox. We guys, all those guys right there taking their wave rounds. Looks like indeed the 69 and the 60 machine both going to head down pit road, so that will now get the race lead over to the 26 machine there, Brian Rowley. But we're going to take a quick commercial break here. Of course, we're going to start side coverage from the thing, but we'll be right back. Welcome back to race number 15 of the iRacing East Series from Kansas Speedway. Last race of the regular season, and heading to the chase next week from Talladega. A couple of these guys, such as a great current race leader, Ryan really in a must-win situation to make the chase. So he's going to do pretty much whatever it takes to get the victory here tonight in order to fight for a championship. As the green flag in a wave here, we're back in a wave from Kansas. Going to get a great restart on the inside lane. Brendan Wilson going to follow his teammate though. Remember, on the outside lane did not get quite a good start, and he's actually going to drop all the way back here. Now 3 wide for, it looks like 4th, 5th position now, with 5 machine on his outside, a 76 to 10 on his inside. He's going to come just in front of the 5. The 5 though going to drive into the outside wall, and that's going to cause a huge check up to 3-4 wide now. As they all managed to avoid him. Great job everybody that missed him right there, and great job by him to keep it up into the outside wall and keep it on his way. But now another new face up in the front of the field. Maybe even actually potentially making his first start here tonight. Trenton Sneed in the 25 machine, a part of Smoking Iron Racing, which of course this is 26, the 14, 25, and the 37. Already up here in a 2nd position. Also one of those guys in a must-win situation. Excuse me. So, top 2 currently fighting for their championship spot, but also teammates. So, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how this plays out throughout the night here. As they're going to put him on the outside wall, though. Trenton Sneed hard on the outside wall in turn number 2, and it's going to cost him maybe 2nd place. Looks like it might be the holdout Brendan Wilson. Maybe not. Brendan Wilson going to take that spot away. As now his teammate, remember, down to the inside there, and Griffin Coney also right there, stalking all of these guys as well. And off turn number 2 here. Left for second continues, but over a 1.5, almost 2 seconds now behind the race leader. Ryan Williams, Brendan Wilson will take that position right on over. Jeff McConey now on the bottom racetrack trying to get take that spot away from Trenton Sneed. We're coming off 4 here. 75 laps completed here from Kansas. They go for a door. 4th position. Excuse me, 3rd position. As the 76 on the race gives a bait into the 25. A little bit of contact, a little bit more contact, a little bit of rubbing right there in each other's door, but no harm, no foul right there. As they come down the back straightaway here. 76 knows that the outside lane's preferred, and he's got to try something to take that position away. As you see, 87 past the 37 up there on the top side of the racetrack. Now he actually going to try to get into this fight for 3rd as well. Something like a 3-man battle for this spot, as he's actually going to try to go to the inside and wash to the racetrack. Though he's going to turn to 25, Trenton Sneed. And as they both go south, oh, the 25 hard on the outside wall. He's actually going to flip it, turn 2, gets hit by the 01 of Taz Kessler. Oh, and he's going to hit multiple times. Eric Reinhardt piles in, hits the 89 machine. He flips in the air. And we get a huge crash here. Multiple cars taking flight here. And that went badly very fast. And also, I want to quickly know, Trenton Sneed, this is his first career start. Just in case you were curious on that. But unfortunately for him, he's not going quite so well here, as he was up battling for that 2nd and 3rd position, but then went run very fast after actually his engine is blown. So hopefully for him, hopefully for his sake, he's a faster left. But it was just 89 was trying to get up on the racetrack, maybe make a 3 wide for that spot as he caught these guys, and then unfortunately, I don't even think they actually made contact. It looks like they kind of held each other's line, but then fortunately, 25 gets turned by 89. United gets for a big spin. Unfortunately, 25 just overcorrects late and flips over onto his roof with nowhere to go for the 01 machine at Taz Kessler, as he can actually that goes right through him. And then as he spins down the racetrack, he gets hit by the 99 of Donnie Lee. The 710 Eric Reinhardt goes down thinking he can miss him, and unfortunately for him, does not. And then he actually launches off of the 25 machine and then spins into the 89 before then launching into the air thus further. So pretty crazy crash here from Kansas. now with the 710 machine, Eric Reinhardt. See the crash up there ahead of him. Not only out of the front, oh no, he's still in the front. He finally into the brace. He misses the 8 and swerves and misses the 8. Chris is shooting a great job to miss him, but unfortunately, 25 and the 89 were down there on the track, and there's really nowhere for him to go. He's running on board now with the driver of the 89 machine, Jeremy Rucker, which is where this whole thing started. I believe again it may have been Netco, but I guess we'll have to double check here. As you see, right on board with the 89, it's at the racetrack, and I don't think they actually made contact. It'd be hard to tell from that angle. I don't actually think they made contact. Unfortunately, they're both over spinning. 89 actually did a great job to miss everything. He's good to go for the most part. Perfect, and then whoop-ow. 10 machine, it spins into him, unfortunately. And that's going to probably damage the back end of his race car, I believe. As I think right on, let's do not right on board, but take a look behind the sky. Now, oh yes, definitely big time netcode right there between 89 and 25. There's a good 2 feet between the two of them. And unfortunately, that's going to end his night. But did a lot of damage to 25 machine and some other cars involved in this. And they did not do a great job to spin on the racetrack and not hit anything at all. Unfortunately, the 710 machine comes flying in there as he was out of control and spinning, and pushes up the whole back end of the 89 machine, but still nothing too serious as far as speed, speed effects there for the 89 machine. Unfortunately, just did not go as planned there. Netcode always very unfortunate. It's not at fault of the drivers, but they always get tore up race cars because of it. See, it just got turned, and then he's trying to save it. Overcorrects just a little tiny bit, and that's all it took right there to stop. And flips over, gets hit wildly all over the place, and it's continuing spinning. It's hit a few more times before it finally gets put in the right direction. And well, it definitely has to use the fast spurs. His engine is blown, but I'm not entirely sure. Also, he does indeed actually have one left, so he's going to use that. Now he's out of fast spurs for the last half of the race, but at least he's able to do that. As looks at the 501 machine, Ryan Wilson will stay out here and get the lead from this. Looks like Ryan Worley and a couple other guys he must have pitted. Chris Edgefield down on the pit road, actually a lot of damage before he used the fast spur earlier on, I believe. So just to see how that works is to see what his guys did decide to come down pit road. There is there's the 26, the 37 there. A lot of guys that were up at the front. Actually, a lot of people stayed out though, which is pretty surprising. So it only looks like really real road armor. Jeffrey Price, I think he actually used the fast spur because his car is perfectly clean. Remember, got a lot of damage there from him getting put on the outside wall by the 76 machine, Jeffrey McConey. So looks like he actually opted to use his fast spur. Pretty risky for a little bit of damage, but I guess that's what he felt was necessary. Eric Reinhardt, of course, using his fast spur for that vicious crash with that shooter right there. Off turn 4 here. Take the green flag. Brandon Wilson up in the reset on the outside lane. There's a green flag waves here from Kansas back on the jump with this 7 laps to go. McConey on the inside, Brandon Wilson on the outside. Jesse Fox right there behind him. There's a 3 wide now for that 4th position. The 6th machine got put 3 wide by a couple of McConey Motorsports drivers. Taz Kessler and Zach Bourne right there is now. Ryan Worley goes the inside of him as well, going to turn number 3 here. At least tries to, but looks like he's not going to be able to do so as he's going to come down across his nose actually right there a little bit. Up front, balanced to continue. So Jeff McConey now has gotten the top spot away from Brandon Wilson. That has Kessler right there in 2nd, following suit. Motorsports now 1-2 right here in this position. And now Zach Bowman trying to go to the outside of Brandon Wilson for 3rd. That's going to put McConey Motorsports 1-2-3 if he can't pull off his move. He actually will going to power on the outside of Brandon Wilson. And now he moves himself up into 3rd place. So 1-2-3 for McConey Motorsports. Here, car spin. That's going to bring the caution flag out though. Look at a couple of cars around here. A pretty big crash. Got Greg McConey in the inside in the grass. 45 Roy Geeson here. 3 laps down currently, and then you got Greg McConey, who's actually on the lead lap and being allowed down much of the night. Unfortunately, I'm going to get involved in an accident here. Take a look back and see what exactly brought out this, 8th caution flag of the night. I'm going to take a look here at the replay. Looks like just going into turn number 3. 12 is on the inside of the 45. The 45 kind of comes down the track a little bit. The 12 comes up just a little tiny bit. And just a recent incident. One came down, one came up. And it was just enough for another to make contact. Spinning the outside wall. The 7 machine, Brian Broussard, gets into the front end of the 12 as he's spinning down the racetrack right there. So it looks like only a 3-car accident. So nothing too severe for these guys. But definitely going to give them quite a bit of damage they obviously did not want. So we're going to run on board now with the driver of the number 12 entry here, Rick McConey. 45 definitely came down the racetrack more than the 12 came up, but nevertheless, racing deal. One came down quite a bit, one came up just a little bit, just enough to make contact and spin them both around in the outside wall. And unfortunately for the 7, I got a little tiny piece of that as well, but we are to take you under another quick commercial break, but hopefully we're back after that with some more coverage here from Kansas, the last half of that. So we're right back. We're live here to the Kansas Speedway for Resort 15 here from the iRacing East Series. That's the record finale here as currently Jeff McConey, one of the drivers, locked into the chase. So he is moving the field back to the green flag as they go into the restart zone, and the green flag is going to wave here We're back on the way here from Kansas. 76 Jeff McConey gets a great jump on the inside. Actually going to get clear of Taz Kessler as all three of these cars, all teammates here, McConey Motorsports, the 10, the 01, and the 76s. Two of those guys are going to battle for second here. Zach Borman on the inside of Taz Kessler as Ryan Willey, though, stopping both of these guys. Going back and forth. These crews one of the fastest cars on the track here tonight. Definitely got a lot of competition out here as a lot of these guys have proved they're also very quick and being very low contention for this win here tonight as Ryan Willey going to go to the bottom of the racetrack and try and get below Zach Borman here for third place, but the outside lane just has such good banking and such a good run off the corner. It's really hard to do that and make that pass complete. He's got a crash. We got a crash behind now, but another caution flag here. Cruising in his shooter, going to go for a lawn slide. Looks like he's going to regain control and get back going and avoid damage. As Jeffrey Price also spun around. He's got some right corner panel damage. He avoids major damage though, which is good because he's not faster left. Trying to Steed, another speaking about a racing car here, involved. Looks like Timothy Papp, his car is destroyed, engine is blown on a 777 Shane. Donnie Lee also in the same situation, so a multi-car crash here back straightaway. We'll look back and see what exactly caused that. We'll bring out the 9th caution flag of the race here. I'm interested to see section maybe in two separate incidences, because you see right here coming off of turn number 4, turn number 2, and down the back straight away, it looks like the 8 machine cruising machine is misjudged. Thought he was clear, he was going to pull in line behind the 25, but unfortunately he was just not quite clear, and he left rears the 25, which then clips to 14, and almost as he tries to save it and keep it from getting right reared, he ends up spinning down the racetrack into the grass. But luckily locked it down, was able to keep it out of major damage. So actually two separate incidences here is what happened. Actually is back in the pack, Donnie Lee actually got as you see right here, it looks like Timothy Papp was checked up really hard as he's trying to keep the car off of 69 with Jesse Fox. Donnie Lee just comes flying through there. We would expect that, anticipated how much he was going to check it up. And then as the 99 is sliding down the racetrack, he hits the 777, right rears him up into the outside wall. They both go the outside wall head on, spin wildly down the racetrack, and both their motors are blown. So two entirely separate accidents here. Basically just off of turn 2. That's pretty crazy, as now the 99 machines actually put it behind the wall. But pretty crazy, and that was just misjudgment, of course, on the 8 machine, and it's pretty easy to do when you're not able to see how far your nose, the nose of your car sticks out. And you see just how close this probably was. Is he probably just thought he was clear, and I mean, you can see actually he was up there about his wheels. I don't even think he knew he was up there at all, which is pretty crazy to think about. He was right there, but you see he even turns left to try to keep him from turning all the way around. Unfortunately, he just can't quite do it. And as the 14 gets tagged to the right rear, he probably just turned a hard left to avoid basically, getting turned in the outside wall head on. So he locked it down to the grass. Did a great job to keep it from hitting anything and to lock it down. actually 2 fast repairs and not just 1. So my apologies there. I thought these guys only had 1 fast repair, but actually, it must be because of the fact we're at Kansas. These guys actually do have 2 fast repairs, so he just used his 2nd fast repair right there. Not quite sure if I would honestly do that with how little corner pin damage he had, but of course, when you're inside the car, you don't really know for sure, so that's fully understandable. But now he's out without a fast repair at all here tonight, so that's pretty unfortunate here. As Ryan Worley is, however, in the race lead here with 89 Jeremy Rucker right there on his outside, who just barely managed to miss the 14 machine there. Coming for the restart now. Ryan Worley gonna lead the field back to the green flag. Pace car down onto pit lane, and in the restart zone, the green flag on a wave here. Backing away here from Kansas. Just under 60 laps to go. Great jump once again now by that inside lane there of Ryan Worley, as he's going to get it going. Going to get a pretty good jump on the 89 machine of Jeremy Rucker there, as they now head down the back straightaway. See the traffic back in the back of the pack between these guys working their way through the field. It's pretty chaotic for sure, as there's a 60 machine right there with Billy Finley. As the 37 machine though, Will Rummer actually go to the outside and try to take the position away from him. That is for 3rd, and as he has the preferred lane, he's gonna do just that. It goes to the outside and will take that position away. As now Jesus back going to try to follow him. There's actually some front end damage that maybe actually, I think it came from right on the race, as it looks pretty similar. As you get a corner pin there, the 60 machine is Jeffrey McConey. They're going to go to the top of the racetrack and they got 3 wide, almost in contact right there. Don't actually keep it together. Now Jeff McConaughey going to try to go down low. As the 60 though going to tap the apron there. Billy Stanley going to get in the apron. It's going to turn him sideways. He's going to manage to keep it. Oh, we're going to crash some extra stuff. That's Trinity Snee going around. And he's going to log it down. Does he get hit? He's going to sit there. Not going to move it there, but it goes by. And he manages to scathe another major incident there. And I think, I'm not quite sure if it was contact this time with somebody else. If he got on the outside wall, he just got loose off turn number 4 there. But we're going to take a look back and see what exactly caused that. As once again, a pretty short run here, unfortunately. As wow, very, very similar accident here, and very unfortunate for the 25 machine trying to see it. We just saw the 8 machine misjudged it, Gator's left for a corner pin on the hook with that back straightaway. And this time, it was actually caused by netcode, but the 69 Jesse Fox gets into his left rear, or netcode gets in his left rear, spins him around, he walks it down, just misses the outside wall. Everybody just misses him, so very lucky. Very lucky he didn't get hit at all, of course, and very great job by him to avoid, disaster right there, as he locking down the perfect timing. As he actually, though, has put it behind the wall. Not quite sure what's up with that. It's unfortunate, as he didn't have any damage, but and just decided to put it behind the wall. Maybe had to go or something like that, but we're on board now with the 69 machine of Jesse Fox. See, didn't make contact with him, but unfortunately Netco had other decisions there, and I was able to look around, but I want to see who's that first car that missed him there. That was actually his teammate Jeffrey Price, who just snuck it down low there. You can see right here. And right behind him, that was Roy Geeson, who just managed to make it through there. Gonna roll with him. Whoa, that was close. But I'm gonna bring it back live here now. That's currently up front, your race leader now, Jeremy Rucker. second lap of the night. We're going to see if we can get in the broadcast booth here. Get a word in with him. Jeremy Rucker, got a copy.
Yep.
So Jeremy currently finds himself here in the race lead after only leading 2 laps so far here tonight. It's been a pretty chaotic race here so far, and my apologies, actually, I think you're in third. But pretty chaotic race here so far, as see a lot of spins and crashes, unfortunately, but also a lot of good hard racing here. Particularly how your race has been going here so far, and what your plans are here to check out the win here tonight.
Well, just got an EOL. I guess I jumped a little bit on that last race, which I agree with the admin. So, gonna start in the back. So hopefully I can put a little show on for you guys as I work my way back up through the field. So.
Yeah, and of course, one of these off races is, this series is usually a plate series, but every 5th race, of course, with that, different track. We saw the road course at Charlotte. We saw Bristol. Now the last race before the chase being here at Kansas. Of course, this is the regular season finale, as I just mentioned. And so I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but you are not currently in the chase. You're kind of in a must-win situation here. What are your goals and plans here to try to get the win?
I'm just gonna keep digging, and then towards the end here, just gonna keep that pedal down and not lift, and hopefully can get a little lucky.
Alrighty, well, we wish you the best of luck here, Jeremy, in your efforts to win here tonight, and we'll talk to you after, potentially.
All right, thank you.
So that was the driver of the number 89 machine, and I guess my broadcast and interview curse happened before I even started interviewing him, so that seems legit. But there's some issue. Will Ronimer now is in the race lead, as I guess I'm not quite sure what exactly what's up with that. Jim Rucker was given an EUL, so by race officials. So interesting call there. Again, not quite sure what exactly was the cause of that. I guess he jumped the start or something there, as I believe that's what he mentioned. But that now puts Will Ronimer in the race lead. One of the drivers in a much more situation here tonight. So definitely good news for him, as his car back down onto pit road, and hopefully this time we go the rest of the way green, or at least a long while, as that is the goal for these drivers and everybody here tonight. As the green flag waves, 76 machine does not get going the outside, and with just 51 laps to go here. That's not great news for the driver of the number 76 machine, but that is great news for the 37 and the 01, as Taz Kessler. Actually, now here's Jeff McConey down on the inside trying to get around Taz Kessler, who's also trying to get around the 37 machine. Road number for the race lead. The 37 going to throw the block on him right there. And now Jeff McConey down to the bottom of the racetrack and try to take away that 6th position, but he can't quite do it as he comes off the corner here. It's going to be pretty hard to do so with the 01 up on the top side of the banking. The 37 road number going to get clear and pull away here. He's just got still side by side for second. Ryan Worley there on 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles. Currently in 4th, going to try to get his way around the outside, though. Jeffrey McConey for 3rd. Looks like he's going to do that down the back straightaway now, as Taz Kessler is back all of the rear bumper now of Will Ronimer for that race lead, hounding him for it as we come off turn number 4 here. Points do not matter for this 37 machine. It's all about getting that victory. I believe the same thing can be said about the 01 as well, of Taz Kessler, as caution flag is out, though. And is out for the 7th machine, Eric Reinhardt. He has major damage, and the 89 as well. And if your curse continues, apparently, as Jeremy Rucker, unfortunately, severe damage for both of those cars, and the 777 of Timothy Papp. A lot of 3 cars here. It looks like potentially maybe more involved here, as that will bring out the, I believe, 11th caution flag of the night. Indeed it is. So, pretty crazy there. I'm going to try to see what exactly caused that. Just on a 10 machine here. Eric Reinhardt just coming through the corner and through the trial, excuse me, and he just pancakes the outside wall coming, not even into turn one, just coming out of the trial wall. Very weird place to hit the wall, but hit it pretty stiff with the 89 machine. Powell's in the back of nowhere for him to go. He locks it down and just, wow, kills the outside wall, spins it around, and then the 777 of Timothy Powell actually gets turned around with a 45 where Geeson, he's kind of neck codes through the driver of the number 89 entry there, but to look here right on board now with the 89 of Jeremy Rucker. Like I said, very place. Maybe just he was right behind the 501 of Brandon Wilson, so he kind of maybe just misjudged. He didn't really know where that wall was. Unfortunately, 89 machine, he's also getting involved in the 777, flying through there as he gets turned around and kind of neck coded through the nose of the 89. But of course, as I mentioned earlier, that will put us under the 11th caution flag of the night, and now gives the race lead. Doesn't race lead over to anybody. Actually, as well, we're going to continue to stay out here. But we are going to go under another quick commercial break, but we're right back after these short messages for the final 50 laps here from Kansas.
We're almost out of fuel. You'll have to come in for a splash. Three, two, one, now. All clear. Okay. Great job. You did really well.
Back to the iRacing series, iRacing.com official Ford Mustang pace car. Gonna head down pit road here. Green flag and a wave here once again from Kansas. Green flag back out. You're gonna have to go on to lap 108 of 151. Still 44 laps of racing here. As always, some contact without the field, but the 01 machine gonna get to the outside of the 37 over number for the race lead down the back straightaway. They go. The caution flag's already out though. The 45 Shiro Geeson having some more issues. As he's already gone 7 laps down. He got involved in a lot of accidents tonight. Unfortunately, and he's gonna maybe burn out the next caution flag here. Didn't even get through turn 2 there, and I believe that will give the 37 that will continue to hold the 37 hold the race lead here as we take a look back and see what exactly caused that. As I run the 12th caution flag of the night. And a little update there: the 14 machine has put it behind the wall. By the way, it looks like actually an issue there, but Jason Papp running about midfield here. That machine just oh wow, that was weird. He had some major issue right there. He just drove straight into the wall. Actually got hit, flipped over. That was super weird. It looked like he just lost the right front, like his wheel disconnected or something. That was super odd. As far as what exactly happened there. As you can see right here, a lot of cars involved. The 7 Sheep Ryan Bruzauer, 710 Eric Reinhardt. They pile in, and then that 710 spins down the racetrack into the 45. He goes sliding through the grass and manages to keep it straight. It looks like great job by him to save that, but definitely got pretty crazy there pretty quick. It was just a super weird crash for sure. As we're going to run on board now with the War Machine and Jason Papp to try to figure out at least what exactly happened there. Goes over to 4th gear and then, yeah, it's like his wheel pedals just disconnected because you heard him get off the throttle and the car just went straight, and he really had no control there. And he flipped and of course kind of disappeared there on our end, but super weird. He's gonna use the fast to get back out there, but yeah, not quite sure what exactly happened there. I'm gonna see if we can't get a word in here with him as well. Figure out what exactly what's the cause of that there. Is Pap got a copy? Is Pap got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
So Jason, pretty crazy accident there on the restart. You want to explain to us what exactly happened there?
I was driving, I hit the gas, and my screen completely turned off. So I couldn't see anything. I looked down, my computer was still on. I turned the screen back on and everything was fine, but I had to burn up my last fast repair to get the wheel straightened back out.
It definitely seemed to be a pretty odd crash there. Of course, not every day you usually see a car just go straight into the outside wall. So I was definitely very curious to see what exactly was happening there with that. But of course, we've seen a pretty wild race here, being the regular season finale, and that one the special off track events. With the track vote, of course, and it being at Kansas, only a mile and a half, we're going to run here. Stuck with the chaoticness we've seen so far, of course. Many caution flags, not what we all want to see, but we've also seen pretty good and exciting racing as well to add to that. So, stuck with the race from your eyes so far.
I've been having troubles catching up with them. I've been damaged since like lap 25. But it's been pretty fun. I think it's just a lot of inexperience with a lot of guys because, we usually are at Talladega and Daytona, so it's a whole different animal for us.
Alrighty, well, appreciate your time here, Jason, and I wish you best of luck here on the rest of the race.
It can only go up from here.
That was driver other than a War Machine. Jason Papp as race leader continues to be Will Runheimer. He's going to hold on to the race lead for now. Remember, on that recent, the War Machine got a great run of the outside. Honestly, would have taken, I believe, just because he had the outside lane, the preferred lane there. I believe he's also on fresher tires, so I think that's what the difference is. But interesting to see what happens here on this restart as far as what can War Machine do. You saw him get that run off turn number 2 there on the 37. It was about to pick the race lead when the caution came out, so it's going to be interesting to see what exactly happens from this point on. Pace through turns number 3 and 4 here for the final time for the restart. Pace car is in. We're set for the restart here with just about 30 laps to go as they're going into the restart zone. The green flag waves. Backing away here from Kansas. Now, War Machine with that jump on the outside lane. 37 did not get a great restart. And now, Taz Kessler has the advantage going into turn number 1 this time. 37 to try to play back on the inside. That goes a pretty good run off turn number 2. As you see Brian Bruiser down there on the apron, getting in harm's way. So his drag race down the back straightaway with the 01 has to refer to groove at the top of the racetrack. Is now going to slide up the racetrack actually, and Ryan Worley, his teammate, goes inside, try to take the second position away from him. So Taz Kessler will run over these guys battling for that championship spot. When you're in system, all about the win here tonight for those 2 drivers and a couple others, as well as the 5 machine in this field. Actually, you have to be the top 25 in points. I'm not really sure they're going to make it if they do win, as a lot of these guys not make a ton of starts. It says Kessler hold on to the race lead now. Taz Kessler is 25th in points actually before this race, so that will actually put him in if he does win this race, because he's already pretty much a lock in top 25. He's got cars wrecking behind them, and there's the caution flag once again. The 13th one of the night. So lucky number 13. It looks like it may have been out for the War Machine, Jason Papp, and the 60 of Billy Stanley, bringing out the yellow. We're going to take a look back and see what exactly caused this one. See, right down the front straightaway here, the 60 machine, Billy Stanley on the inside of Jason Papp, and then going to turn number 1, looks like the 1 came down the racetrack, either thought he was clear or just kind of expected the 60 to be thrown down the racetrack, and came down. They made contact 89. Wow, what a hard hit in the outside wall right there for 89 machines. He goes flipping wildly all over the place, and my broadcasting interview course continues. It was pretty crazy there. For unfortunately 2 accidents in a row now for the War Machine. Actually, maybe even be 3 in a row for 89. As you see, the 8 took the wall and just unfortunate right there. Not quite sure. I'll take a look here from a different angle, of course, to try to figure out what exactly kind of started that. Who did what here? You can see right here going into turn number 1. It looks like the 1 came down the racetrack. The 60 kind of held his line, but like I said, either the 1 thought he was clear, which was very real possible because the 60 was just his left rear corner panel, or he just thought the 60 would be further down the racetrack. But unfortunately, they just kind of came together there and made contact, and that's what caused that crash. And unfortunately, 4 cars big time involved in that one here to run on board now with the driver of the number 81 entry, or 89 entry. He's right behind these guys here. And there he goes, nowhere to go at all, and just, wow, what a vicious hit in the outside wall. He's going to go spinning around. The broadcaster curse never fails, I guess, and I believe he's a faster left. He's been involved in a lot of accidents tonight, pretty much none of which has been his fault, so that car is destroyed and very mangled, but machine around really now finds himself in the race lead after, I believe, a couple of those top guys decided to head down pit road. At least Will Vernomer actually did not, but he got passed. So Taz Kessler did pit out of the race lead, which of course is pretty interesting to see that strategy here. But we're going to take you on another quick commercial break here. we'll be right back after these short messages from Kansas.
I want to leap over buildings, want to fly over the shores, faster than a lightning flash, rushing through the cool night air. Oh, oh, oh. So start ignition, count to zero. I just wanna be a superhero.
Hey, what's up, guys? Scott Speed here at the iRacing headquarters. Some exciting news about the upcoming Rallycross World Championship. They've got a wild card entry, and yours truly is going to get that spot. See you guys out on the track.
So start ignition, count to zero. I just wanna be a superhero.
Welcome back live here to the Racer 15 from the Kansas Speedway for the iRacing East Series. Brought to you by Express Auto Salon, DCH Crane, Bottled Up, and Taz Racing Customs, all official partners of the iRacing East Series. Good to have with us here tonight. Lovely Friday night. Good, glad to be with you all and have a lovely race here. And just after this broadcast, actually, we'll be having the United Esports Series as long as everything goes well. So that'll be at Daytona. So make sure you check that out. Not long after this, and then of course Tuesday night VSO Stock Car Championship as well. But meanwhile, right here in this race, green flag waving once again. This time it's out for at front row, Spooky Hunter Racing as Aaron really going to lead his teammate Real Rummer to the green flag as they're still side by side for a second though, with Chris Ingles in that number 5 UPS Ford on the inside and slide up off the corner and going to get clear now of the 37 machine. As you remember, the L1 though of Taz Kessler pitted as the 69 Jersey Fox in the outside wall. Looks like everything's going to go well and he's actually going to keep the car under control and out of harm's way. But the L1 of Taz Kessler using his 4 fresh tires, he got under that caution flag as they're going to crash the background though. The 8 of Cruz Jr. Big hit right there. He got very loose off turn number 4, maybe after hitting the outside wall again. And just Fox involved all a couple others right there. And they'll bring the caution flag out now for the 14th time, and his car is destroyed. So definitely going to have to use a fast spare, otherwise he's out of the race if he doesn't have one left. I know he's already used one of them, but maybe even 2. As it looks like he's done this about 3 or 4 times tonight. Unfortunately, just slides up off the corner, gets tight, hits the outside wall, comes down off and just, wow, got into the door of the 76. There wasn't too much damage for the 76, but the 69 Dixie Fox nowhere to go. And pretty familiar sight, unfortunately, for the 8 machine tonight. And definitely not what he wants to see. As you run on board now with him here coming off turn number 4. Pretty well right on the front stretch here. And front on board now with the 76 machine of Jeffrey McConey. And who's just wrong place, wrong time for this one. But again, luckily for him, I don't think he got too much damage out of this as it kind of hit him in the door. I guess he did get a bit of front end damage potentially right there, but as that's a look now from the eye in the sky. Alright, this one. Everyone push run time for all those guys, and well, a 3-car incident though it looks like at the least, so that's good news for the most part. Let's see if we can get a word in now though with the 26 machine Ryan Worley, current race leader here. He's led 32 laps here tonight so far, and this will actually be his 33rd lap led. From the broadcast booth now. Ryan Worley got a copy.
Yeah, I got you, bud.
So Ryan, coming to find himself in the race lead here. I started in second. You've been at the front and put in a pretty familiar face up here at the front of this race so far tonight. Led 33 laps so far, and of course, as I mentioned, currently holding that position for now with as we get in the closing stages of this race. But definitely been a pretty chaotic one. We've seen a lot of strategy calls of the guys taking 4 tires, the guys taking 2 tires, guys staying out. I've seen, unfortunately, a lot of crashes and caution flags as well. And a lot of 3 and 4 wide racing. But a pretty chaotic race overall, and you know, already locked into the chase, so you're racing out here for fun and trying to go for the win. So talk about the race so far from your eyes and what you think it's going to take to get the checker flag here tonight.
Yeah, we got 2 to get, so I'm gonna keep this quick. But I'm actually surprised you're still broadcasting. This has been so many hours. I'm actually getting tired being out front, but not with cautions after cautions. I don't know. It's just kind of sad that people can't get their cars around the track, and I don't know. This is a first for me seeing this, but I don't know. It's just one of those races. It can go either way. If it goes green, I think we got a shot at it. I think we've proved we got a fast, you know, Chevy here. But if it doesn't go green, we'll stay out front and try to keep in the lead.
Obviously, as mentioned, we're going to go now, so I'll let you go here. But I appreciate your time here, Ryan, and I wish you best of luck here on the rest of the race.
Yeah, since it's Kansas, carry on my wayward son.
That was the driver of the number 26 machine, Ryan Worley, in the race lead, and the field back to the green flag here once again. The question is, will it stay under the green flag? As it has not done so much tonight, unfortunately, but hopefully these guys have figured out what exactly they need to do and are excited to finish out this race here tonight. Also just realized I forgot to look back and see what happened to the 7 machine Ryan Broussard when we were talking about 89. The caution flying. Forgot to take a look at that, so my apologies for missing that. But anyway, the iRacing.com Fisher 4 Mustang pace car down onto the safety of pit lane, and we'll take here for another restart attempt. As the green flag waves. Backing away here once again from Kansas. Can they do it? Up the gas. As the 01 machine get around the 26, beginning the 4 fresh tires. The 05, excuse me, the 5 machine put up a steady fight though. Chris Engels right there. They're going side by side off turn number 2, the 01 and Taz Kessler. They're going to move himself up into second place here. And so the 26 gets clear of those guys and moves himself into the race. He gets clear, and he's going to take that top spot entirely away now. As the 01 now trimmed down to the bottom right racetrack right there. Goes off the corner. 26 gets to run on that high side and lead this lap. So there's 16 laps, excuse me, 26 laps to go here. Not a ton of time left, but still quite a bit of racing, of course. And that one machine there on those 4 fresh tires. It doesn't see how much faster he is in this 26, what exactly he can do with those. As you see right now, the gap closing as the 01 stalks at 26 for the race lead, but on 26 holds that offensive line at top side of the racetrack. They're basically going to force the 01 here into a slide job type of move. So, the son of Ryan Broussard though down the apron, he's going to get out of harm's way. Great job by him to miss, get out of the way of the leaders there, as he was all out of shape there and be heading down pit road. But We stay clean and green, and he gets out of the way. Now Taz Kessler actually gonna hits the outside wall off turn number 2. That's gonna cost him a lot of time and probably damage his car just a little bit. As you see Cruz Jr. also down there on the apron. He's had a pretty rough night, but it's gonna pretty much give the gap now to the basically give a huge advantage now to that 26 machine. Ryan Worley to lap the 710 Eric Reinhardt. So Ryan Worley now going to get a pretty huge jump here and gap to the field. It's going to 26 machine, basically just driving away though. After that 0-1 hit the wall, it's going to be pretty tough to make that time back, about a second back now. And with that right side damage, it's going to definitely hurt the handling of the race car, and make it plow and get tighter even more. So you can see 26 now starting to pull away, even though he is on old tires. But still, one machine definitely not letting him get away necessarily. Kind of keeping it 9/10 to 1 second pretty consistently here. So. So the one machine may have actually scraped the outside wall right there, coming off turn number 2 once again. Nothing not quite as bad as he did last time, but looked like, from what we could tell right there, and it looks like by the time he lost by half a second, I believe he did in fact do that. So Taz Kessler really pushing the car here with just 20 laps to go, trying to reel in that 26 of Ryan Worley, but they can't quite do it now, as the 26 is going to put the 45 machine of Rory Geeson 1 lap down. And he's at the top side of the racetrack in the preferred cruise, so he's going to have to go low to avoid him and get around him here. Taz Kessler right now in second place, and Chris Ingles right there in third place. This is actually Chris Ingles' very first career start here in the ICNA series, so like I mentioned earlier, one of the new drivers, and in fact, this is his very first start, so even if he does win this race, he will not get in because he's not in the top 25 in points. However, Taz Kessler, who before this race was the top 25 in points, if he does win this race, he will get in. Almost in the outside wall right there, though. If he does win this race, he will get locked into the chase, as this is his last race to chase, because of the fact that he was 25th coming into this race, and of course, is ahead of a couple of guys here. Another straightaway though. Hernandez Jr. Right there, I'm gonna go another lap down. He's at the bottom of the racetrack this time and get out of harm's way. So it's good job by him to get out of harm's way right there. But back to the pack here. Quite a few damaged cars, of course, as you all know. It's been a pretty rough race on one of these drivers. There you see 37 Rodomer now catching that 5 for that third position. Actually gonna go to the low side and try to take that position away. But gonna try to throw it and slide job up in front of the 5. Looks like he's actually able to do so. So Will Rodomer gonna take that third spot away as Jeff Ricona hits the outside wall. Now some blocking going on with a 37 on the 5 entry there. You know, up to 1.6 second lead is that 26 of Ryan Worley. But don't look now. One is catching him a little bit. It was a little bit of a bigger gap, I believe, earlier. So now maybe the 1 touches your limit in, but he does have quite a bit of right side damage. He's been hitting the outside wall quite a few times off turn number 2, and of course, his fresher tires though gonna kind of change that up. So it's really interesting to see what exactly can happen here with just 15 laps to go from Kansas. 1.5 seconds is a pretty large gap, but when you're on fresher tires, it could just be what you need to make that stick. As we'll remember though, Ryan Worley's teammate right here actually he's reeled in Taz Kessler a ton. Maybe was saving his tires at the start of this run. So some strategy there that's going to pay off for Real Runner here so far, as long as he can get around the L1 machine. We just saw him pass that 5 for that third spot, and I was going to try to get hungry here for second and get a 1-2 to smoke him out, except here's the thing. Ryan Worley is actually locked into the chase. Real row number is not locked into the chase. He's currently 19th in points, but does not have a single win, which means he's not in the chase. So Ryan Worley is in the chase, already locked in with a win. His teammate, now potentially going to be in second place here if he can pass Taz Kessler, is not. And if he does win, he will get in. So we might see a team strategy call here to just give the win to the 37, but I don't believe that's a... I don't think I would see that from Ryan Worley. I just don't think that that's the kind of driver he is. He likes to, you know, if he has a chance to win, he's going to definitely take it. As you see, the one machine, though, Taz Kessler racing really hard with the 37. He's actually going to get into the outside wall right there in turn 1. And that's going to knock him back 2 seconds behind the race leader. As 37, though, real number, going to try to drive him on his inside, take the position away. As he slides up off the corner, not quite clear, and almost a bit of contact right there. But luckily, the 37 got like gas at the perfect time to avoid that. As 01 definitely getting that position up, but meanwhile, Ryan Worley drive away here, basically out to a huge comfortable lead here. As the 45, Roy Gleason got to spin out on the apron down there, luckily out of harm's way, however, so great job of him to keep out of the way, but Christian Rodover still stalking this 01 machine here. Looks like he got a pretty bad exit at turn 4 right there. He's going to cost him quite a bit of time to Taz Kessler, but going to try to make it back up here on 1 and 2 and just try to search the racetrack, find the right groove, and get in the right way to do it. But this time by mark 10 laps to go from Kansas, not a ton of time left. As you see 37 just really reeling in the 01. Here it comes down on the low side off turn number 4. Going to try to make the run this time as 01 actually got to pitch him all the way down to the apron right there. Going into turn number 1, 37 might just throw it at the corner, pull a slide job here on the 01 as he is faster. 01's not going to let him know. He's going to drive it hard and run it outside and almost some contact. And they both managed to keep the car straight, but while these guys are trying to fight hard for second, Ryan Worley has pulled away to a 2.5 even bigger lead here. So he's basically locked this thing down on the win as long as he don't get a caution flag and as long as he doesn't make a mistake or has some run happen. As we just now have 9 laps to go from Kansas. Well, Runhammer's still trying at the 01. He keeps trying, and then as soon as he makes that attempt to pass Dylan and it's not successful, he loses so much time, and he's got to take a little 2, 3, 4 laps to make it back up. And that's just part of Kansas. So he's going to have to try something a little aggressive, maybe a bumper run, maybe even dumping a run. Who knows what exactly he's going to have. It was going to take here to pass him, and he's definitely got the tires, definitely got the car, and definitely seems to be faster than this 01, but he just can't quite complete the pass here as the outside lane is just so dominant and can be run as a defensive line so well. So we're going to see what the 37 does here to get that spot. I don't think he'll do anything super aggressive or, you know, super dirty at all. But you might see a slide job, you might see up and running. We'll have to wait and see. As obviously he knows he's faster. As there's 89 machine down on the inside of the racetrack out of harm's way. Gonna go on a lap down with severe damage on his car. I got a couple more lap cars up ahead of these guys. Timothy Papp going to go on a lap down along with Cruz Andrews Jr. So they were going to stay low though, so no threat to these guys. Is over. I'm going to try another line here. Actually running the bottom of the racetrack before he gets below the 01. Interesting line there, but going to turn 4 here down that front shooter once again. Taking off these laps one by one, and these guys are actually, they did slightly catch Ryan Worley, but maybe just because of those lap cars, and obviously they're not going to catch him here, like I said, unless a caution or something else crazy happens, so there's no point really keeping up to date with that, honestly, but he's really tried to get around his 01 machine. Definitely was faster, but he just was not able to do so. And now it looks like he's kind of backed off. Maybe burned up his tires trying to get around the 01 to wait and see what exactly happens here in the closing laps. With just 5 laps to go now for Kansas. If we do get another caution flag, race will end under the yellow flag. The race is on for second as these guys, as I mentioned, are catching Ryan Worley, but it's just not going to be enough, I don't think, unless this 26 hits the outside wall or something crazy happens here. to reel in that 26 machine. He's had a slow night all night long. Qualified second, has led at least over 50 laps. Yeah, almost 60 now, actually 58, 4 laps to go. And I believe he's going to get all his last 4 laps led anyway. I hear cars spinning out. That'll bring the caution flag out. That will end it. As I got a crash on the first straightaway now. Jeffrey McConey going around along with the 89. Also involved. And that will bring the 16th and final caution flag out here. Excuse me, 15th and final caution flag out here. And that will end it. So no chances left for Taz Kessler or Will Runham. That will end it officially here now. As interesting thing here. You see the 76 going around the lap car of the 89. 89 drives up the racetrack into him, actually. Makes contact with his door and just dumped him. Just turned on the front straightaway. Hooked him completely around. That honestly looked pretty intentional. And 76 goes... Excuse me, 76 goes spinning there. That'll bring out the 15th, like I said, 15th and final caution flag. That'll end the race now. As maybe some retaliation potentially out of the driver of the 89 car. So we're going to run on board now with Jeremy Rucker. Definitely look pretty intentional. That's what I can tell. Drives it down through the grass, but misses the tire wall. Yeah, looks like he avoids everything else, but hopefully they are discussing over the radio, so it's going to be pretty interesting, probably. But of course, as I mentioned before, that caution flag will end the race, and just 2 laps to go here, I believe. We'll hand the win over to the 26 machine, Ryan O'Reilly. So second career win for the driver number 26 machine here. Was kind of the co-winner at Talladega after ended under night conditions. They had to call it because it got too dark. And then he got turned after the caution flag came out, ended the race. So he wasn't. iRacing didn't score when the race lead at the time of the caution, or it did. But after the caution flag, because he got turned around, he was, of course, iRacing registered him as a part of the caution, so he wasn't really credited with the win. But then, of course, it's not really fair to him when he was leading the race. So league officials gave him kind of a co-win, gave him points for the win and everything like that. But this is his first full win. I'm sure he's very excited about that. Of course, here at the Kansas Speedway, as white flag waves, we're a lap of pacing here. But yeah, Talladega definitely seemed like he had it in the bag, but then he got turned around after the caution flag came out to end the race. Was given half of the win. It was given basically the win, but it wasn't the sole winner. As Chris Etcheper was the one who accidentally turned him. I think, of course, got the lead and was credited with the win via iRacing. But then they decided to give him both the points for the win and kind of call them both co-winners. So no co-winners for anybody else tonight, though. Just the 26 business much of the night. Definitely was up the front if he wasn't in the lead. Definitely second, third, fourth, and fifth much of the night. As he paces in the back straight for the final time here. Three turns are 3 and 4 forward the final time at 70 miles an hour here. I'm not sure what is the exact speed. 60 miles an hour, 65 looks like actually. But going off turn number 4 here. To pick up his first official full career win here in the iRacing Series, but second win of the season and second career win technically. If you look at the books, Ryan C. Worley, your race winner tonight from Kansas. Final race at the Chase, and we get the first multi-time winner besides the 8 machine cruising as junior. So as always gonna get almost turned sideways by his teammate there, Ryan Worley though. As Will Rummer, congratulations. And he's pretty confident coming into tonight's race. He definitely was at a fast car, and heard him in the interview right there. He was a fast car and proved it in qualifying, proved it in practice, and proved it, of course, in the race here. It's complete chaos after the finish, but let's see. We're gonna come around here to the front straightaway, try to save all the craziness here in a cooldown lap, but I come over here to the front straightaway and burn them down in celebratory fashion. Alright, so you're race winner tonight from Kansas. Sub right here in the front straightaway. Unfortunately, it's wrecked Eric Reinhardt. But we're going to go under another quick commercial break. We're right back with an interview with the top few finishers here tonight. And look at the race results here, top to bottom. I'm back now to Kansas Speedway for the post-race show here from the iRacing East Series. I'm going to get ordering here the top few finishers. First up is third place finisher Will Runhammer in the number 37 entry here in the broadcast booth now. Will Runhammer got a copy.
Gotcha.
So, Will, you ended up finishing off here on the podium after starting in fourth place and finishing off in third, of course, after leading 32 laps. Pretty fast night for you in that number 37 machine. Up front for much of the night and avoided most of the accidents, actually. Pretty chaotic race, of course, 15 cautions, definitely higher than we probably expected to see, and it was definitely a very long race compared to what we usually see here. But also, being the last race, the chase saw that intensity. Unfortunately for you, you're not quite able to get the victory here tonight to lock you into the chase. But still stuck with the race as a whole, and what it came down to there at the end.
Yeah, the race as a whole was really fun. For the first like 20 laps, there were so many cautions that I just decided to stay out for all of them. I led some laps from that, and then I think we had one big green flag run, and I decided to pit. And then I kind of meandered around like second through fourth, and then I got the lead back later. And the tires do not wear as much as you think they would on this track with the K&Ns. After like 20 laps, it still didn't feel that much different. It's pretty tight setup, so not much risk of getting loose off the corners. So I had a pretty clean night. Also, Jason wanted me to inform you that this is not the last race. The next race at Talladega is the last race.
Of the chase?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that looks stupid. Well, anyway, yeah, so anyway, we saw most of the race, as you expect, at Kansas. The top lane was mostly dominant. Of course, on the short runs and the first couple laps of the restarts and the start of the race, you could run the bottom on first tires, but it just seemed like the top lane was just so crucial with the banking, the run you get off the corner. Let's talk about the race from your eyes as far as being able to pass people and how people, of course, we saw there the 01 was able to defend you, to hold you off of that position until the caution came out there with 4 laps to go. But let's talk about the race there as the whole ending. The way it all worked out with how the top lane was able to basically just defend the inside lane and how much crucial it was to have that top groove.
Yeah, the top lane was definitely dominant, and it really showed how many passes got completed. But to make things worse, I may have been in the top 5 fastest on the top lane, but I was one of the worst on the bottom and middle. So whenever I had to make a pass there, I just couldn't do it. I don't know if that was a product of old tires at the end with Taz, but I just could not pass him, and I knew I was faster than him by a little bit, and I could get it done if it was based off raw speed. But I'm just not good on the bottom and middle. But yeah, the high line was definitely dominant, and I had a lot of fun running it.
Already here, any shoutouts you want to give here, and thank you to sponsors that makes that 37 machine turn around this track?
I want to thank DCH Crane for sponsoring this race, and my dad's furniture company, Trillium Workshop. You can visit them at trilliumworkshop.com.
Alrighty, well, congratulations on your third place finish here tonight, Will, and see you here next week.
Thank you.
That was driver of the number 37 machine, Will Renummer, finishing off in the podium spot here after 32 laps. And now we're going to talk to the number 01 machine of Taz Kessler. Okay, spoot now. Taz Kessler, got a copy.
10-4.
So, Taz, you managed to come out with a run-up finish here tonight of leading 10 laps. Pretty fast, pretty quick there, especially towards the end of the race. Looked like you had the 26 there until you actually made contact with the outside wall, and it kind of, I'm guessing, hurt the downforce of that race car, as it just didn't really seem to have the speed after that. And you were still able to hold off 37 for a second, but obviously you probably wanted the W here tonight. But pretty chaotic race, as you expect from Kansas. Of course, one of the off races every 5th race, and not usually what we see at Talladega and Daytona. So definitely pretty fun to see, different kinds of racing here in the iRacing East Series. But to start with the race as a whole from your eyes, and what you feel like maybe you should have done differently to try to get the victory tonight.
I think if I didn't end up using so much fast repairs after getting in wrecks and not hitting the wall, I think I would have got it, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, of course, as you're looking for your chase bid, I was informed by Will that I've said all along this race so far. This is the final race of the regular season. However, next week at Talladega is actually the final race of the regular season. So without a win, currently sitting before this race, 25th in points, you're looking to try to get the win next week at Talladega. Basically, the only way you can make the chase here. Thoughts on next week and trying to achieve that goal?
Actually, I got a win like 2 weeks ago, but
Oh, my bad. Yeah, so, of course, I talked to Will about this just before, and, he kept it straight, said it, that the top lane was absolutely dominating here tonight, and we saw, the bottom being run for 1 and 2 laps, after the short run, or not on the short runs, after the restarts or start of the race. So it's like what the race as a whole there as, as you saw the top lane, and of course you were able to defend the 37 running that top lane. It's like about how crucial the outside lane was compared to the middle or the bottom.
the outside line was obviously the fastest. If you ran on the bottom or middle, you abused your tires too much. So everyone tried staying up on the high line. Plus, it was faster, and just tried staying away from the wall. Because anytime someone got in the wall, a wreck happened. So.
Absolutely. And any shout outs and thank yous to sponsors you want to give here that brought you home to the second place finish here tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank LCTV, iRacing E Series, Taz Racing Customs, Bottled Up, and I think that's it.
Alrighty, well, congratulations on your second place finish here tonight, and have a good night.
Have a good one, Lucas. Thank you.
So that was driver other number 01 Machine Taskcaster, and as I make another mistake, my apologies, thinking that this is the final race to chase, and then thinking that he 01 Machine didn't win a race. My apologies for that. But either way here, looking to the race winner here tonight, Ryan Worley in the 26th machine. Ryan Worley, got a copy?
Yes, sir.
So we're going to see if I don't get something stupidly wrong this time in the interview. But Ryan Worley managed to pull the victory here tonight after starting second. Talked to you earlier in the race there, I believe. Either the second to last caution or the last caution before we went almost to the end on green. He led 62 laps here tonight, I believe the most out of anybody, so definitely a pretty well-deserved and pretty dominant performance here for the most part. Like I said earlier, up front much of the race, and you're able to pull it off there at the end after the 01 machine got in the wall. Start with the race, of course, from your eyes, and how you were able to pull it off there at the end.
Yeah, it was a great race for me. I mean, I was worried about Echapar there. He was faster than me by quite a bit, so I was worried if he stayed in the race, he was going to win like I did. But I don't know what happened to him. He just ended up in the back after like a lap car took him out. But from that point on, I was kind of being a fast car in the field. I had some other guys up there who were fast, but they all ended up getting sent to the back for stupid reasons. And I felt bad for ratting out the 08 for blinking that much, but it's hard to stand blinking whenever you literally think the guy got into the wall every single corner and you're checking up for it every single corner. So I hated doing that, but on top of that, it was just a great race. And I mean, other than all the cautions, the racing we had was pretty good racing.
And of course, we saw the 3-4 wide earlier on in the race, and it was pretty fun to watch up here in the booth, of course, when we weren't pacing behind the pace car. But first official full win, I guess you could call it here, not a co-win this time. So I'm sure that's definitely making you pretty happy here as we move on to, as I was informed, next week is the last race before the chase starts. So. I mean, it's pretty good for you, obviously, the momentum here. Of course, we go back to the typical plate race next week, so it's going to change a lot. But just thoughts on next week and of course, your bid of the championship here.
Well, yeah, I mean, this definitely makes us look strong for championship. I know it's mostly restrictor plate racing, and that's more luck-based stuff, but I feel like it definitely gives us a good kick going into the championship. We had a win in your league last night with Jeffrey Price, and then tonight with me. So SMR's pushing pretty strong. Yeah, definitely happy to get that official win. I mean, the full win was worth, pushing so hard to get to it, because I was just like, you get the co-win, and it's like, awesome, I've got, the status of the win and everything, but I really just wanted the full win by myself, no other names beside it. So, yeah, that was great. And to be honest, towards the end there, I didn't really describe this early, but I actually thought that the 0-1 of Kaz I thought he was going to catch me. I really thought he was going to catch me, but he just kept getting himself into the wall, so I just stay up in front of him like, okay, don't touch that wall.
Yeah, and of course, running that high side always has the risk versus reward. It's the faster on the racetrack, but and the closer you get to it, usually the more speed you gain. But always that that chance of overdriving the corner just a little tiny bit, and you're in that wall, and it's hard to get off of it. So
point of no return.
Yeah, so we saw a lot of that tonight, and that caused actually the majority of the cautions was just guys hitting the wall, and it slows you down so much. The guys behind you running the exact same line as everybody's pretty much in a single file train. They just plowed the back of them, and it causes huge wrecks, which is what we saw most of the night. But of course, this race winner here tonight, I'm sure you got a couple shout outs and thank yous you want to give here that brought home the victory tonight.
Oh yeah, first of all, I gotta thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I was literally the last couple laps there, just praying. It's like, please, just don't let the caution come out before you have 5 or less to go, because I really don't want to have to go down pit road and try to make some kind of strategy deal out of this. So that was a lot of what I was doing at the end. I also got to thank my teammates. I got a great team, SMR. I even have my spotter out here racing this evening. 2 of them gave up because of all the cautions, but I got to thank Jeff and Trent, and got to thank Will. All of them just working with me, and also got to thank DCH Crane for sponsoring our league here, and also want to thank you for coming and doing the broadcast. I know that must not be very fun to watch caution after caution.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly the best thing in the world, but of course we had a great racing to make up for, I believe, so that was the better portion of it. But anyway, congratulations on your full win here tonight, Ryan, and see you here next week for Talladega.
Yeah, I enjoy racing at this track. I even wore my Kansas t-shirt because I'm such a big Kansas fan, but yeah, that's me. I'm a big fan of a Kansas band. They're a great band, so if anybody out there gets a chance to listen to them, I suggest it. But yeah, thank you for coming and broadcasting for us, bud, and just excited to finally get the full win.
All right, absolutely. So that was Jared number 26 machine, Ryan Willie in his full win here tonight from Kansas, leading 62 laps. Now to look at your race results here, top to bottom. Here from the Kansas Speedway, Ryan Willie picking up the win here tonight. Taz Kessler going to finish it off in second. World number third. Chris Ingles making his first career start here tonight in fourth. Rupert Coney right there, right at your top 5. Zach Foreman in fifth. Brendan Wilson 6th. Jesse Fox finishes it off in 8th. Jason Pappy had some interesting issues tonight. He didn't get a solid 9th place finish, and Billy Stanley rounds out your top 10. Finished 11th here tonight, Jeffrey McConey. 12th place, Timothy Pappett. A really rough night, actually. It's a great rebound for that 777 machine to come back and finish 12th place, only 8.6 seconds behind your race leader. Eric Reinhardt, first car lap down in 13th. Christian Jr. had a really rough night. Got involved in a lot of crashes, kind of just hit the wall a lot, and unfortunately for him, didn't finish off in 14th, but not a terrible effort, of course. Roy Giesing going to finish off in 15th. Brian Puzo 16th. Jeffrey Rucker in 17th. Jeffrey Price 18th. Trinity 19th. And Donnie Lee rounds out your top 20. Finish 21st here tonight. Tyler Gary, who seemed very fast at the start of the race, actually. I'm not quite sure what happened to him there. I guess he disconnected or something there, but he's going to finish it in 21st, 84 laps down in 22nd. Bobby Hash, Taylor Collin going to finish 23rd here tonight. Chris Hitchper 24th. Right in your field, Scott Laner going to finish 25th, 140 laps down, only complete 11 laps here tonight. So yeah, take a look at your points standings here before the race. As far as the chase goes, as you see, Ray Taz Kessler is locked in, so my apologies for mistaking that. But Ryan Willie now gets his second win on the chart, so we finally have a second multi-time winner here tonight or for the season. So now next week, I apologize for getting us all confused. Next week, we head to Talladega for the final race of the regular season, decide who makes the chase and who gets cut. So that's going to be interesting to see how that works out there. Of course, some guys, notably like Will Varnummer and Chris Ingles, who made his first start here tonight, I don't believe he can make it in because he's not in enough on points. He did top 25 in points, but Will Varnummer he's 19 points before this race, so if he gets a win, he's locked in, and the list goes on and on. Honestly, with a lot of those guys, I believe. Trying to think of other guys who are in on that. Jeff Spooner, I think, if he shows up next week, there's a lot of guys, honestly, on that list that could very well potentially try to race their way in or get that championship or get that win to try to fight for their championship. But anyway, I appreciate y'all sticking here with us for the longest race ever here in the iRacing series. Pretty crazy race for sure. Pretty lengthy, 15 caution flags. But I appreciate y'all sticking through the thick and thin here tonight with us. And, of course, see you here just a little bit, actually, for the United Esports Series, as long as everything goes well with that again. It's kind of confusing. I can't give you all the details on that, but having some issues with the session going up. So hopefully that will go well. Then, of course, Tuesday night, the VSR Stock Car Championship, also from Kansas, actually. So if you like the Kansas track, this is definitely a pretty good week for you. So we have another broadcast Tuesday night, VSR Stock Car Championship, race number 4 from the Kansas Speedway, also under the lights. And, of course, here next week, Talladega and the trucks for what will be the regular season finale from Talladega. Appreciate watching you tonight. This is LCTV. Have a good night.